Hey, Stacey, we are live.
Yay.
Don't mind recording. I think this is just super informal. We want to just
Yeah.
congratulate you and then get a couple of words about your experience. If I remember correctly, you've earned a business to business BDR SDR role for Staples.
Yeah. The role is called a territory business to business representative. Yeah, it's a great opportunity to have. And yeah, Staples is the company.
Wow, that's so innovative, right? For you wouldn't expect, you think of Staples, you don't think, oh, they're going to go hard to have these business to business reps.
Right. This is something new for them, this area, and not just in the actual the business to business role, but even in the territory, this is
Yeah.
a new place for them to be at. So I'm excited to be a part of the team.
Yeah, what talk a little bit about that. What got you excited for this role, for Staples, etc., for the opportunity overall?
Well, I did my research, to be honest with you. There were a lot of positions that I applied for, but then I started to say, with the no's that I was getting, because there was a lot of no's,
Oh yeah,
uh, that's just part of it.
the
I
game.
said, you know what, let me get more like specific on
Yeah.
what I want. So I wrote out a list, and one of the things on that list was I wanted the opportunity to advance, and I wanted to be with a company that poured into those entry levels to get them to a place where they want to be within the company. And so I really started to do a deep dive into the cultures of the companies that I was
Mhm.
looking for. And Staples stood out for me, especially when it came to their culture when it comes to inclusion and diversity. That was
Wow.
huge for me. And so when I saw that and I was like, I can do this, it was a little intimidating because it's
Yeah.
Staples.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, and
Yeah.
they're looking specifically in my area, even though it
Mhm.
is, obviously remote, but they were specifically looking for Orlando area in the eastern part. So I'm like, let me just go for it. So that's what stuck out to me, like those specific reasons. Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Well, okay, so let's step back here first and like go
Okay.
to the beginning. So I remember you and I were on a call together when we
Yeah.
were talking about enrolling at Elevate, and you had already had previous exposure. You'd come from
Hmm.
a different program, right? Course careers or stuff.
Yes.
Um, so when we had our conversation, you were thinking, okay, am I going to go through this again? You were in a role, but you knew you wanted to transition out of that role, right?
Right.
Um, Talk to me a little bit about your impressions throughout that admissions process. Like, why did Elevate call to you? Why were you like, okay, I'm going to take this risk on myself. I'm going to jump in and do it.
Sure. So it was from honestly from the beginning. So when I first came out of that course careers, I just felt like there was another part of me that I needed some more training into, and I just really didn't fully connect. I did the work, but there was just something that I needed. And so my first initial invitation to Elevate was the recruiter. I cannot remember his name. I'm sorry, but it was the first impression, and it really was everything. Our conversation was amazing. He not only informed me about Elevate, but he listened to what my needs were. And it was that first initial conversation that really was like, okay, this school really cares. It just not only do they want to put me in a role, but give me the tools that I need, they're going to be with me throughout the entire process.
Mhm.
And then, of course, when I met you, it further confirmed that. I was like, oh, from the top to the bottom, no matter where you are, you're going to get the assistance that you need. So that's what sealed the deal for real.
That's awesome to hear. Now you got into the program, you started learning, you were part of the cohorts, etc. But you already had a little bit of a foundation, right? Some exposure.
Yeah.
So could you point to some of either the soft or the hard skills that you thought, you really gained a lot of knowledge or development on coming from Elevate, or even maybe speak to something that might have been most challenging for you?
Yeah. So what was challenging for me was
Yeah.
the fact that I actually had to put myself in the role already as if I am in the job right now.
Yeah.
I got the skill set, but you can't forget about who you are because you can sell all day, but you really are selling yourself. You really have to put yourself out there along with what you've learned. So what Elevate did was help me bring out the more relationship side to it and the building upon that. And then remaining and gaining the trust and being consistent with that and just trusting the process. Those were the things that were challenging because I was just so quick to just learn what I got to learn and move on to
Right.
the next.
Yeah. And
Elevate taught me
yeah.
how to slow down a process, trust the process, but at the same time, the information is there, you have it, but you got to bring yourself into it as well.
Yeah, I think one of the things that stands out about you most as a climber in our community is goes back to that resilience piece that you alluded to earlier, which is like there's a lot of no's.
Yeah.
And I don't think in any of the conversations I've had with you or with your instructors that there was ever a sense, maybe it was externally, but never, and internally, but never did it share that it was really getting to you. Like it always seemed like there was a head on the shoulders, and or at least that's what you presented. So I guess
Mhm.
my question for you is, how would you translate that to other climbers that we bring on in alumni? Like what words of wisdom would you say about just kind of going through the process, getting hit with all the no's you get in sales to like getting where you are now?
Well, I have a little trick for all you climbers out there, and I'm going to give it to you. So use the nose as ammunition and get excited about the nose. I started to get excited because I knew that with every no, it was going to lead me to a yes. So instead of taking the easy route, which is getting upset and getting, oh, I was like, okay, I got two no's today. I know I'm like at least one more closer to yes, like
Wow.
reverse your thinking when it comes to that. So when I started getting the no's with finding the new this new position that I finally got the yes to, I would look at the emails and I actually starred them and save them. Yep, I got me a no today. I got me three no's yesterday. I know I'm getting closer to my yes, and that just built up my confidence that I'm going to keep going. So yeah, use the
Holy,
no's as your stepping stones and motivation to yes.
what a work you do on yourself to get to that point where you sit yourself down and you say, "This is the new definition of what a no means
Yes.
to."
Yes, absolutely. Because we're in the in the world that we're in right now and in our
Yeah.
roles, we're going to hear the no, and we may hear it directly, indirectly. Oh, I don't think I'm going to do that today. Okay, don't let that discourage you. Just shake it off, breathe it off, and say, okay, I got to know, but that's okay because I'm closer to that yes.
Holy
Yeah,
wow. This
absolutely.
is like a slam dunk. If there's one thing to take away from this call, it's that mental jujitsu, that Jedi mind trick that you've been
Yes,
able to apply. That's amazing. I bet I'm having, 6, 7 years of experience in this space. I know that mindset is going to make you phenomenally successful if you
thank
tie
you.
it back to your resilience in the role. Like your
Absolutely.
growth is just this.
I
Uh,
can't wait.
so, all right. So, my final question for you is, okay. So, you went through the Elevate program. You obviously developed these strengths, these soft skills, these hard skills. Now you graduate, you're putting yourself out there. What would you say it was maybe Elevate's influence or that experience of going through Elevates? How was that impact or lack of impact in terms of your capacity to secure interviews, to do well in the interviews? You obviously did well, but what would you say you gained from Elevate and were able to take that into the interviewing process?
Absolutely. Well, and it's still a part of my journey too, because
Yeah,
the tools that we get during our cohort and beyond, it remains. So during my cohort, I would say definitely your instructors, your teachers, your anyone that you speak to, even your personal buddies that are in the class with you, that are online with you, you
yeah,
can learn something from them. But
yeah.
what I would say that really pushed it to the limit for me was the presentation parts, like putting yourself out
Mhm.
there, getting used to being in front of people that you may not necessarily know. And then the critiques that come after that. It doesn't mean that, you didn't do a slam dunk. It's most of the time it's just a little tweak here and there, but just be open for the wisdom that comes after you put yourself out there. They gave me the space to fall on my face. They gave me the space to be in an open place where I can be amongst my people and just be like, okay, how was that? And we really just became a family. And like I said, even after the fact, the tools that I received during the cohort and even now. I'm still using them. They never go away.
I'm so excited for you.
Me
I
too.
told you we would do it if you jumped in with me. I said we would freaking do it. We
You
did
did.
it. We did it.